Justine.
Hi,
It's
Desi.
nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
So we briefly spoke last week, and you've filled out the pre-screen form already. So let's just go over it and see what we'll do with you.
Okay.
Obviously, the reason for filling the form is to see how your health is going, if there's any issues, if there's any injuries, what goals you have, what we can do about them, and that's basically how we're going to proceed. We're going to go through every step separately and go from there.
Okay.
Right, so
Sounds good.
you filled your doctor's info, that's good. No cardiovascular, pulmonary conditions, nothing in the past.
No.
What about in your family? Is there any history of disease?
Well, there's a couple of cancer in my mom's side, but nothing genetic. So no.
Okay. History. Obviously, you're not 55.
No, I'm not. Thank you.
Blood pressure is good. So you've marked that you're currently sedentary, is that right?
Yes. Because of my back injury, I can't do much sport. So I used to do quite a lot, but now I'm just sedentary.
Chilling out.
Chilling out, exactly.
Body pump's good, and you've said bone and joint issues. That your injuries?
Yes, so that's my back. Yes.
And you've also marked other.
Yeah, that's. I have also a pain in my knee.
Okay, so basically just injuries.
Yeah.
But nothing.
No arthritis or other.
Are you taking medication for anything at all?
No, I'm just taking supplements.
What kind of?
Supplements. It's for digestive issues, so
Okay.
something to help with the digestion.
Okay. Right. And you're seeing an osteopath, is that right, for your low back?
Yes, I've seen an osteopath. Yeah.
Okay. And I think because it's a low back issue, and obviously I'm going to speak to your osteopath and get their opinion, but would you be comfortable if I referred you to see a physiotherapist for an assessment before we continued with your program?
Yes. I
Okay.
think it would be a good idea.
Okay, so that's a good option. And we have your osteopath number here as well. I'm going to mark that we need a referral for a physio. And otherwise, we're looking good. So let's see your injuries. What happened with your low back?
So I play touch rugby.
Yes.
And I kind of had this pain for a while, where after playing it was a bit painful, but then in a few days after it was fine. So I didn't really get concerned about it, and at some point it just completely. I just completely. I couldn't do anything. Like I was stuck, and yeah. So at some point, one of my friends drove me back home, and I couldn't even get out of the car without help. So yeah, that's what happened.
Okay, and at the moment, since you've been mostly sedentary, what's your pain like? Has it improved at all, or?
It's improving a little bit. I'm managing to not have it all the time, but mostly I can't bend over still, and I can't do any sports. Like I don't see myself go for a run, for example, or because it's still very vulnerable.
Okay, and what about daily activities like walking, sitting.
Walking
that
is
sort of-
fine, actually. Yeah, walking is fine. Sitting a long time is quite painful.
What about going up, downstairs, that sort of thing?
So what I've noticed is going up is all right. Going down is always a little bit harder,
Okay.
especially on my knees as well.
And what about loading it? Can you pick things up?
No.
Or-
No, that's I can't basically do the thing where I'm picking something up like this and moving around. I have to put it really close to me, and I can't bend over. So if I need to pick up something from the floor,
ground, yeah.
it's very complicated.
Right. So we definitely need that physio consult then.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's your pain like? I mean, most of the time.
I would say most of the time it's around 2 or 3 sometimes. But it can flare up. Like if I do a movement or if I try to pick up something,
yeah,
it can flare and I feel the
Like
pain
shooting.
going around in my leg, in the back of my leg, and like a shooting pain.
Okay. And what happened to your knee? How did that happen?
Well, it appeared after my back.
Okay.
So and it started to flare up after I got my back injury. So yeah, but I had this pain before, and I had like an MRI for it, and I had a consult with a specialist, and he thought about the MRI was fine, nothing on the integrity of the knee, but he thought about contusion because I was running a lot at the time that I had this. So he thought it was probably a contusion, and so he put me at rest for a while, gave me a few exercises to do, and yeah, I was back on my tread runnings quite like after 4 or 5 weeks.
It's not bad. What's the pain like at the moment?
Well, it's a constant, not really pain. It's just a little bit annoying, but it's like a constant 1 or 2.
Okay.
And if I go downstairs, for example, it can flare up around 4 or 5.
Okay. Yeah. And what's walking like with your knee and your back?
Walking is fine. Especially if I walk with good shoes, with the support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it fine or is it pain free?
No, it's fine. It's not pain free, but it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's mostly my knee who is problematic. The back when I'm walking is alright. So it's actually feeling nice to walk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's nothing else. No feet, ankles. I don't know. Shoulders, neck, anything else that you can think of?
No, I'm alright.
Okay.
Yeah. Besides that, I'm alright. I had a little bit my neck before the back, but now it's mostly the low back. The neck and the upper part of my body is alright.
So that pain's reasonable.
And because I'm not doing anything now with my upper back.
Yeah.
I mean, well, when I was doing touch rugby, I was diving and everything, so I could have like a little bit of traps or stiffness, but now I'm alright. It's just the back.
Okay. You're not pregnant?
No, I'm not.
And you said you're not on any medications at all?
No. I did take a few ibuprofen for the back at the beginning because it was really painful. But now I'm trying not to. The pain is manageable. It's just annoying, but it's manageable.
right. You've signed our form already.
Yes. Looking forward for this. Real.
You're obviously aware that all of this information is confidential and private. Cool. That sounds like you're in a bit of pain there.
A little bit.
But the good news is I have a great physio contact that can give us an assessment and help us get moving in the right direction.
That's good.
So let's see what your goals are. You've checked body fat loss, general health, general energy, and sport specific.
Yeah.
And what is the top priority for you at the moment?
The top priority would be to go back to my sports.
Yeah.
And I know that it's quite complicated at the moment because of my pain, so I know that I need to manage that pain first.
Yep. That's good. I was worried. That's good.
Mostly I'm waiting for you to give me some exercise that I can do to reinforce specifically myself for my sports, that I can prevent those pain, and then the secondary objective would be to get back to body more fit.
Okay. What does more fit mean?
Lose that fat that I'm accumulating around my belly belt and around my thighs as well, by not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then generally being like more healthy and get back to a good sleep, and because I know the activity can really
sleep impacts.
Yeah, sleep impacts. Yeah,
especially recovery from injuries.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you meant by general health and energy, or did you have something else in mind as well?
No, it's just having this good sleep is gonna get me back to a level of energy where I'm not waking up tired and like struggling with my day, and at the end of the day getting this energy back. So I would like the reverse thing, like having the energy in the morning, spending my energy during the day, and go back to sleep with no energy. Would be better thing, I think.
It sounds like a better plan to me.
Exactly.
Okay, so the long-term goal is to get back to training for touch. And when would you like to get back? Ideally, in an ideal world.
In an ideal world, yesterday. But no, I mean, I've made my mind with the fact that I won't be able to do the winter season now that the summer season is done. So I would like to be back for the next summer season.
Okay.
So ideally around October, November.
So the dream is to play touch in October.
Yep.
Okay, so that is obviously dependent on resolving your injuries.
Yes.
But let's split up that time, I think, in smaller increments and see how things progress.
Yeah.
So the first order of business is seeing the physio.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think if we can commit to, in the next 4 weeks, doing all the exercises that they give you religiously, and we see how you go with that. Obviously, it's really important to get the injuries in check. And hopefully, by sticking to those exercises, we can collectively decrease your pain in the next 4 weeks as well. Say from a 5 when it's really bad to a 4 or a 3, maybe if things are progressing well. That would be a good goal. Would you say?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because if it's just flaring up at the 3, it's what I'm experiencing all the time. So that's a good thing. That would be manageable, and that would be manageable as well to do exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
And let's see. So, what's your sleep regimen like? I mean, what's your sleep hygiene like?
Well, I'm trying to go to bed not too late, but I still have my French habit to go, like to not sleep before 12,
Mm-hmm.
which is quite a bad habit. But yeah, so I'm trying to get to bed earlier. But the thing is, with all the energy that I have, I don't really go to sleep straight away. I've noticed that if I'm reading a book, it's helping, and I'm trying to not get my phone too much. But I'm just human.
Right. Okay, so let's say in terms of your sleep hygiene, let's start simple, I think, because you already have a lot going on with your injuries. So let's just focus on maybe putting your phone away every night, an hour before bed.
Yeah.
So you can dim the light maybe in the room a little bit and see how you go with that. If it improves, and then once that becomes a habit, then maybe we can reevaluate and add to that routine.
Yes.
So it improves.
Okay.
And in terms of body fat, it's a bit more complicated because you can't do very much activity. I don't know what it sounds like to you, but I think that maybe your nutrition might have to change. I don't know if you have a nutritionist for your sport or how you're eating at the moment, and maybe we can have a look at that in detail.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that maybe your calorie intake might need to come down a little bit, since you're probably used to eating more because you were quite active and now you're not. So I think that's something to look at in the next couple of weeks, maybe just decreasing a little bit. And because you said that walking helps with your low back, I think that the calorie deficit, if you like, in addition with maybe a little bit more walking, might be a good combo for losing a bit of weight at the moment, because we can't really push your body very far, and we don't want you to lose too much muscle or be in a very big deficit on a crazy diet. You're already stressed out. So adding a little bit more walking usually helps. Like if you don't have too much time, maybe 10 minutes after each meal, or 2 longer walks, or and if it's helping your back, that's great. Just don't stress your knee in the process, right? So if you can comfortably walk for 10 minutes, then do that. And if you can comfortably walk for 15, then do that. But then stop. Don't push your knee more than you have to. So I think that would be a good goal, just including those short walks in the day. And as far as exercises or programming, again, we need to see what the physio says, what your osteo says, but I think obviously you're going to benefit a lot from core stability exercises, things that are going to build up your low back strength and low back endurance. And then maybe we can slowly, as your issues resolve, slowly start loading things a little bit more. Obviously, you're going to need some knee exercises. And besides the walking, I think with the help of the physio, we can try to find some cardio exercise for you, which is pain-free, and we can try to keep up your conditioning a bit higher. Maybe not initially, but slowly as things start resolving, we can add a bit more conditioning, a bit more cardio work. So then when you get back to your sport, you're not gassed out straight away, but it's going to be a process dependent on your injuries.
Sounds good.
Cool. So there's a plan. Some description.
That sounds like a good plan.
So I'm excited to see what the physio says, and then we go from there. But we have some good goals.
very good.
Cool. So, okay, in the past, you've said here that you've played touch.
Yep.
You've been trail running and horse riding.
Yep.
Talk to me more about those activities.
Well, I was horse riding from my teens years old to my 25, I would say. Mostly to my 23rd, and then like very occasionally after. So I had horses,
Yep.
so I was horse riding every day basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started to attend my school, I just kind of dropped a little bit because I didn't get enough time to do it. And my horse was still in my hometown, and I was studying somewhere else. So I started trail running instead.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going back to my place and horse riding. So, but yeah, so I did trail running for a while. I did a few long distance trail running, and it was pretty fun.
So, how often did you train for running, for example?
I was training, three times a week.
And how many big races would you do a year?
Between 3 and 5,
Mm-hmm.
depending the year, depending the races, and I try to do a few. But every time it takes like preparation, and so there's and the preparation is quite long.
Yeah.
Every time I was trying to stop drinking alcohol, having a very very good diet, so trying not to party too much, and still get a social life without partying. When you're 23, it's quite complicated.
But you did it.
But I was managing to. I was really serious about it, and I was very diligent with this.
Good. That will come in handy now.
Yeah.
And what about your touch? Talk to me about that a little bit more, since your main.
So then after my school, I started to play touch,
Mm-hmm.
and I got quite quickly into national level in France. And then by national level means I was engaged to the European Touch Championship, so I had to make a very big preparation for it in terms of building the strength, building the endurance, building everything. And then I was training a lot. I was like with all the training for endurance, strength, and plus the touch training, plus the competition on the weekends. I was doing touch 5 times a week. I was like training for touch 5 times a week.
How many games would you have, or how often would you have?
So in France, the season runs from, let's say, March to October, and there's a like break for mid-July to late August. But otherwise, it's basically you can go for a tournament every weekend. So I did a lot, not every weekend, but I would say at least 1 weekend out of 2.
Okay.
During those periods was dedicated to touch rugby.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes all the weekends were taken by touch rugby. So, and for a tournament, it's 5 games a day. So it's quite tiring, but at the same time, it's not full games. It's smaller games.
How long is the game?
So the official game is two time 20 minutes.
Okay.
So it's 40 minutes, and then there's a break in the middle. For tournament on one days, on like 1 day tournament would be two times 10 minutes or just 20 minutes in a row, or like they have like different pattern to try and make all the games in 1 day. And I think you're not allowed to play more than 120 minutes per day anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, in France, I mean, the federation is doesn't allow the organizer to put the touch players over 120 minutes.
And what was your position?
So I'm playing Link mostly, Link and wing sometimes, and middle sometimes, but mostly Link, which is the position between who make the link between the middle and the wing.
Right. And do you do any other activities that I don't know that you like, hiking? Or
Yeah, I do a little bit of
Swimming.
hiking.
Okay.
I like swimming. I was swimming a little bit back in France. I tried to swim a little bit here in New Zealand as well, but not as much.
So say with hiking, like
Yeah.
how often would you say you will go?
We would go maybe once a month for a big hike, I would say.
Big hike meaning day, multi-day.
No, 1 day hike for maybe not even 1 day, maybe 4 or 5 hours, and sometimes we plan a bigger one where we really walk for 7, 8 hours.
Have you been to any hikes after your injuries at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have. It was a bit of a test because I wasn't sure if I would be able to make it. But
How was it?
yeah, it was fine actually. Yeah. Just going down, and I think honestly, since this hike, my knee has been very painful. So I think I was really compensating for that. And but yeah, no, it was fine. Honestly, I wasn't carrying anything.
Yeah.
My partner was carrying everything.
Lucky girl.
Yeah. Useful
Very
partner.
nice.
And it was alright. Going up was fine.
Okay, so going
I wasn't in pain. I wasn't in pain in my back. The pain was mostly in the knee. Mostly in the knee. Yeah.
Okay.
And I've noticed that what is the worst part is the car. Like going for the ride, for the hike, sitting in the car for hours is what is pretty bad.
Okay, so sitting. We won't be sitting together.
Yeah.
We will be not sitting. So that's good.
Sitting is very, very bad. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, you're very active. I'm quite impressed.
Trying to.
That's a lot of hobbies. It sounds fun. Right, so you've marked that you're available on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So what time on Monday?
So Monday is my day off, so it can be pretty much all day, just not too early in the morning. And Tuesday I have I'm not working in the morning, so it could be Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
And Wednesday I'm not working after 4, so it could be after 4.
Okay, and then you said you want your sessions to be up to 2 hours long. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
2 hours.
I was used as a trail runner. I was used to long training, so this is the maximum that I was that I was being able to do during the week was like 2 hours training, but I don't expect to do 2 hours training.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I think probably an hour, maybe even less with your injuries, depending on what we find out with the physio. Definitely not 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
How many times a week would you want to be training, ideally?
Ideally, 1 to 2.
1 to 2 times.
Yeah.
So when you train, obviously you're doing a bit of damage to the body, as you know, and you need time to recover. At the moment, we could do Monday and Wednesday, but I would highly recommend, if you have some free time towards the end of the week, you can have a look and see, but that might be better if we split the 2 sessions further apart.
Okay. So maybe I could do Thursday morning as well. The problem is it's not going to be regular. Like I don't have a regular Thursday morning, and I definitely don't have a regular. Well, I have a regular Friday, but it's alternating every fortnightly.
Okay.
So for every week, I am working either morning or afternoon, so we could alternate that as well.
Okay, well, it's just something to think about, and then of course it depends on what other things we come up with. So it's just something to keep in mind that it might be better to split the sessions further apart from each other. And exercises that you've enjoyed, you've put team spirit and playing.
Yes.
So talk to me more about those things.
I've noticed that training with some buddies is always more fun.
Yeah.
I had this moment when I was training for the European Untitled Championship where I was training by myself. It was really hard to get to training, and I wasn't as effective and as good at doing the exercise, and I was a bit more lazy, a bit more why push myself? There's nothing, like no competition straight here. I know that the competition was coming, but that was quite hard.
So,
but when I was having friends to train with me, it was more fun, and I was more diligent.
Okay, so you need company or like a competition between mates.
Yeah.
So exercises, we're saying it's obviously the sport, so you love touch, you love team, fun, goal-oriented.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there any part of your training that you really enjoyed doing? I mean, when you were with your mates, what was your favorite, I don't know, conditioning exercise?
I don't know. Running was actually boring by myself, but quite fun with a friend. The core training, and there was this little exercise where we were alternating. We had like alternating, for example, plank, burpees. Then so we had like 40-second work, 20-second rest, or 30-second work, 10-second rest, or whatever.
So high intensity kind of.
Yeah.
Circuits.
That was quite fun, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I quite enjoy that.
And you've put resistance training as your least.
Yeah.
What is it that you don't like about? Because obviously you have to do resistance training for your sport. So what was it?
Yeah, I think that's because I did it a lot.
Okay.
And I was just sick of it, and it's painful.
So what kind of exercises did you? I don't know, just
for the resistance. So we were doing running. So we had like a few minutes to warm up, and then we were doing those exercises where we were running 20 meters, going up, like go and back, 40 meters going back, 60 meters going back, and 5 times 10 meter, like going and going backward for the return.
Yeah.
And that was painful.
So, but that's mostly more like a cardio.
Yeah, but we were doing it like 3 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
We had like 3.
So again, like a circuit, sort of.
Yeah. No, well, it was not 3 times. It was 5 times, and it was a circuit. It was to test our resistance to the endurance. Maybe.
So endurance.
Yeah, endurance.
So more endurance than resistance.
Yeah, maybe I'm a bit confused about
resistance is more like body weight exercises, like you were saying, the plank or squats or like pull-ups.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, maybe more endurance.
Okay.
I was thinking of
endurance and speed, it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not good at speed, so I've always struggled with those exercises. But it did improve my speed. It did improve because at the beginning I was doing touch and try running at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started to do touch, I increased my speed in my trail runnings.
Okay.
So yeah.
Nice.
But the exercise for endurance was just painful.
And have you been to the gym at all? Or just
no, not really. I've been to like trials and very occasionally to go with a friend or with my mom to do a class mostly, which was fun, but I just mostly didn't see myself doing that by myself. Like going by myself was something that I've always think a bit scary.
That's why we're here. So would you be open to doing some more obviously in the future once your back's feeling better, but some loaded exercises in the gym, maybe light dumbbells,
whatever.
So maybe some cables, and just I think it might help to build up your low back endurance once the pain is resolved.
Yeah.
Probably same with your knee. So nothing crazy, no powerlifting or anything like that. But would you be comfortable with adding that to your 2-hour sessions?
If it's relevant for my sport, I would put the effort to do it.
It sounds to me like we would need to be doing again at a future point cardio, your circuit HIIT training, and then adding some resistance, some weight to that, so you get a bit stronger, and that should help as well with explosiveness and speed. So that's an exciting idea for me. I love resistance training. Right. Okay. So we've gone over your history, and you're mostly healthy, young and fit.
Yeah.
Except for your 2 injuries, and we've set some goals for the next 4 weeks. I'm going to make an appointment now, or rather give you the contact for the physio.
Yeah.
So you can make an appointment with them. I'm going to speak to your osteopath
Yeah.
to see what they say. And once the physio does the assessment and gives you some exercises, you can get back to me and we can make an appointment then for the physical screening, and we'll come up with a program at that point, because it's very heavily influenced by the physio's opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, but yes, our goals for the next 4 weeks is do the exercises the physio says that we need to do, or you need to do, decrease your pain, improve your sleep.
Yeah.
So don't forget about the phone.
Yeah.
It's really important. Because the better you sleep, the better you'll recover, and the faster you'll recover. And then adding those 10-15 minute walks during your day is going to be, I think, really helpful and cover lower back health and body fat and general health and energy.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
do those.
Okay.
You can probably start
Doing
having
that now.
and the sleep, and then once the physio get back to us, then we'll figure everything out from there.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
I'm very
Thank you
excited.
for all the tips and advice.
Well, thank you for coming to us, and we'll be in contact hopefully shortly.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay.